And good morning from Haynes Bottom Wildlife Management Area, where I am working towards my Kilo Award. We're hoping to get there. I got about 125 more to go to earn it. Oh, you know what? I noticed W4 ARB is on. Let me get my appropriate glasses. Let's see if we can make use of him very quickly this morning. 7.062. W4 ARB. Oh, I hear somebody else down in there. He may be the station that I hear way down in the noise. I thought W4 ARB was the louder station there, but I guess not. He must be the one way down in the noise. I did not bring a cup of coffee this morning. Alright, let's go back up to the frequency I was on. I hear traffic there now. Noise there. Let's just try 7.044. We'll listen here for a bit. Let's go to, let's see, what is today? We gotta go to the spot space. See, today's the 16th. So we're gonna go to the POTA page. Activations, add an activation, reference K3943. K3943. Start date is today the 16th. Beginning at 11:30. End date 16th. Ending. I'm gonna sneeze, folks. I'm trying not to do that on camera. Alright, well, we're giving a listen here, 7.044. QRL. to spot ourselves since we can. Did it not stick? Okay, it's stuck. And we'll just hit record on the computer there. On the computer. On the radio's record function. Alright, it is 6:57 or 11:57 UTC. I heard yesterday the bands were poor from somebody. Well, last night they told me. Hopefully this morning they're a bit different. I need to get 124. And for DT. Those are da 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 da. Five 559 Ohio. WD4DAN. Well, that tells us that we can get some strong signals today. That first N4DT signal, boy, it scared me into thinking that might be how. W4TRA. Up and down, huh? .559. North Carolina. Dot it. 5. It's humid this morning. On these humid mornings, I've switched to a 0.7 millimeter lead instead of my normal 0.5. But I do also have my right in the rain pad as well, so I find that it's easier to write on that on these really humid days or after a rain. I'm using the Chelegans MC750 antenna again with the 40 millimeter coil installed, and also I replaced the factory radials. It comes with 4 radials. I forget the exact length. It's 11 feet something, and they're in a 3 millimeter banana plug. Well, I ordered some 3 millimeter banana plugs, and I doubled the wire and soldered them in. So I have 8 radials coming from 4 banana plugs, and it's been pretty successful. KU3 something. J. .559 PA, Pennsylvania. Sometimes it fools me when they start off, calling W4EMB this is, because I'll start writing my own call sign, and then when I catch on, then I've already used up my space for the name. 449. Illinois. Jesus. I forgot that I changed my recording. That's my Elmer there on a straight key. $5.99. So this recording is my CQ. My other recording was Roger Thanks 72, dit. But I changed it to my park number yesterday, so I could, because I was trying to do some park-to-park hunting, and I wanted to be able to have my park number saved in a consistent manner, because Numbers and I still don't get along. That's a tuner-upper. So will our next call sign be from Tennessee as well? Somebody real close tuning up. Boy. Did it? Okay, I think I got it. WJ0L on a cootie. That's my guess. Has kind of a slurry sound. And when you're newer at CW, obviously listening to somebody send you on paddles is probably the easiest, because it's the keyer forms the dits and das for the person. And I imagine a straight key might be the next easiest, because people can maybe form dits and das just a bit less slurry. Then comes that cootie. I think it sounds, like I say, like a slur almost. Because sometimes when people hit that da and they're coming to that dit, they keep the da until they need that dit. And I've been trying to play with a cootie here. I haven't touched it probably in 2-3 days now, but I was trying to practice on a cootie. But being newer at CW, I need to, you start wanting to touch everything that has to do with CW, and you get excited about it when it starts to finally start coming and you're starting to understand letters and things, so you start wanting to expand. I think it's K4ETA. Oh man. Okay. Whew. 229. Ohio. I didn't get that 72 out, did I? Oh boy. Five, 9. Georgia. Da da dit da. Oh, I can't get that 70. Boy. I got 2 W's in there, I think. Da 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 da. Oh, stupid. Come on now. Okay, gotcha. That was Whiskey Bravo 8 Delta Tango Tango. Did I mention I forgot my coffee? I didn't forget. I actually got up too late. I got too lazy to make it. N5HOT out of Clarksville, Tennessee. Belongs to my local Flying Pig Club. Normally, when I wasn't working on this kilo thing, I would wake up in the morning, check into a net, after the net, then go to Burger King and Terry, N5HOT, and Kilo Mike 6. Oh man. WB9. Okay. $559. Gee, Chris, I gave you a $599. Stingy. Heard some voices. Heard some voices. One day I was out doing this activity and a woman asked me if I was talking to dead people. She did. Can you imagine walking up to somebody with an antenna, a little radio set up, calling some Morse code, and you're a grown adult and you ask them, are you talking to dead people? You know, sometimes before I ask questions, I think of what are some of the possible answers that could come from that. No? And yes? I'm trying to peek around my van there. Did AC5MC, I think. That one was a little. There was a car that was back here. I was trying to look around to see if they were going to pull into the parking area or what. Or if I was going to have another visitor. I'm parked in a way to keep the direct sun off of me, so I'm in the shadow of my van. But that's also the direction of the entrance there to the wildlife management area where people hunt, train their dogs. I don't think anything's in season anymore. Spring turkey was there, but I think the spring turkey's over. It's 7:28. We got 17. First one was at recognize that call. Whiskey something 0Y. I just don't remember all of it. Maybe as the band goes up and down, we'll get him back. Another go round. WJ0L. First time around I thought it was a Y. LY, you know, a couple of my favorite letters. Well, again, we're using the Penntek TR45L radio. We're not using the skinny this morning. We're actually using the full size one. We have a Bioenno 12 volt, 12 amp hour battery just hooked to it just because. Using a little West clock alarm clock and a Czech Army key. It's a great feeling key. I really like it a lot. I'm getting text messages. Okay. If you are at home hunting and you're using this video as call sign copy practice, that's what I use them for. I hope that it helps out. I wish that the calls were more frequent so you don't have this dead air time with me having to talk to fill in the gaps. But when you're at home hunting and your friends are out doing POTA, don't text them. Now in this case it was slow. That was NN4EC hollering at me, asking me if I was doing POTA, if I was going to coffee, or if I was sleeping in. And I told him I'm doing POTA right now, and he said I can't hear you there. And I told him to listen harder. Then again, I don't know if he knows what frequency I'm on, so I told him what frequency I'm on. But you know, sometimes when you're doing POTA, as soon as we hear the dit dit, then we send our call. Sometimes we forget that the person needs to also be logging. And so if we throw our call as soon as they say dit dit, then that means they don't have a chance to do anything in their log. They got to go right back to answering you. And then if you're fast on the key, they're trying to fill in and write in. So maybe slowing it down a notch is probably the best answer. So that way, if you answer somebody right on the dit dit, and you send your call out there and then they come back to your call, maybe do the rest of the exchange a little slower to give them time to jump on their log and fill those other things in, and maybe fill in the stuff on the previous call. Because I'll have doodles on the bottom of my page. I really try to refrain from doodling on my writing tablet because it's expensive, so I'd prefer just to use it for actual stuff. But I keep 2 pieces of paper here, 3 pieces this morning, in case I need to flip one over and doodle on the back, because I end up with a lot of doodles, trying to doodle down call signs and whatnot. And then when you do that, when you do doodle call signs, make sure that you go back through and you draw lines through all the call signs after you've transposed them up to where they need to go. I get a dit every now and then, but just barely, unless you are a 1 word a minute. That's another one of the fellas from coffee, and that's the hard part about your local guys. You know, obviously we're only on ground wave when we're talking to each other, and so the farther they are, even though we're local, it is a little harder for my signal to make it clear across. He's actually close to being on the other side of the county from me, and there's a lot between he and I as far as my ground path trying to get there. And we are on 40 meters. I am using a vertical, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that the lower in frequency that you go, the farther your ground wave signal goes. And also a vertical. I think I've read that a vertical antenna is the best for a ground wave signal. But it's still going to have its limits because we are so local to each other. One of our crew who checked in this morning, W7GCY, he's just returned actually from a trip. He was on the road going to West Virginia, and it was the time of our morning net, and he saw a roadside rest stop coming. So he pulled over, set up, checked in with us, and he had a booming signal, said that all of our signals were booming, including mine. I was out here at this park. And he and I were talking on the phone about that last night for about a half hour, how the difference when we're all here local trying to talk to each other versus when we do spread out. Our friend in Michigan checks in with us. He was in West Virginia checking in with us and just had a really good signal, and he was QRP. I was talking. Did it? Oops. KO4JKV. Oops. We started off strong and then just dropped out to nothing. Well, we've been recording about 42, 43 minutes or so. Well, my first contact was at 12 and it's now 12:43 via the clock here. So, I don't like to let these recordings go too long. You know, who's going to sit and watch a 2-hour video when there's a lot of dead air? I suppose there's going to be dead air if I don't call CQ. And no exciting stuff this morning. I haven't had a fox or a deer. I did have a rabbit when I first got here. He was just sitting right here where I parked the van. He was quite content. Till I got out. And he ran off. It's nice watching the animals there in the morning. Had a dense fog layer in the sky when I got here. Well, we're at 20 so far. I have some video ideas coming up. Evan from the Long Island CW Club, he's done a video on equipment for POTA, and he's also done a video on his keys. So I'd like to probably get a table out and get the camera equipment up and go over all my equipment, all my keys, antennas, maybe in an indoor environment, just talking about them, and then answer any questions that pop up in the comments about each antenna, as far as like SWR or construction of it. I use a lot of homemade antennas. This one here, this Chelegant's MC750, it's a store-bought antenna. DX Engineering sells it, but it takes forever to get one from them, because they're really hard to keep in stock. They're a very popular antenna. Ever since Thomas K4SWL, he's put it on his channel. A few other YouTubers out there. Speaking of which, W4ARB, make sure you go watch him. And I'm going to have to write down all the ones I subscribe to that I use for call sign copy practice, because they come in really handy. And it is a lot of work to sit and film for an hour to get 20 call signs, and then process the video, upload the video. I've been out here a lot of times, but not recorded every time I've been out here. But it is good practice hearing it all the time. And you don't necessarily want to watch the same video over again, because you already heard most of the call signs, or all the call signs from it. But if you do use a video, get your sheet that you have. I made this on Excel. Call sign, RST, sent, received, state, time, and then any notes. Up top I wrote frequency 3 times, so that way if I change frequencies. On my new sheet that I have, these are my old sheets. Here's my new sheet. On my new sheet, I did add a frequency column. I also added a start time, my park, the date, and then my little script down here at the bottom, the CQ POTA and the thanks and 72. Because I'm QRP, you say 72. When you're full power, you say 73 for goodbye, but QRP, you say 72. Lets people know that you are QRP. But anyway, get you a sheet and sit down to these videos on YouTube and practice copying down the call signs. When the person sends the call sign, you might not get the whole thing, but then when the video creator replies to them, then you can get your fill. And don't worry about trying to get good before you get on the air. Getting on the air helps you get good, so try that. Because if you're just waiting to get on the air to be perfect, well, that's a long wait. That's gonna be a long wait. Because what's the difference between a person sending you a call and you didn't get it all, and you just sending a question mark, and then they send it again, then you get it all? That's the same thing as watching a YouTube video and hearing them send the call, you get it, part of it, and then hearing the response, and then you get your fill. That's the same thing as sending a question mark. And sometimes on your more difficult letters, I have a pile of letters that are difficult for me, different letter combos. A 4 and a V, 4V. Oh, that's horrible, especially trying to return it. But anyway, let me quit gabbing. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video. Thanks for sitting along with me this morning. Here at Haynes Bottom, park number K3943. Go on the POTA website there and click on it, and you can see the stats of the park and all that stuff, and see how close I'm getting to my kilo. I need another 125. Now it looks like I need about 105 remaining. I don't know if I'm going to get it today, because normally at a time like this the bands would have been a lot better. I would have had 30 35 QSOs by now, but it's just not happening. So I'm going to change my frequency here to our local net. We do a local net 7.090, and it's called WA4PIG. He'll go down through a list and he'll call people. He'll call N5HOT, K4BLE, KT4FQ, W8SOO, W4EMB, W7GCY. That was one of the fellows there. NN4EC, K5RPB. Anyway, he'll call us, and then Terry will start it off. Good morning, John. UR5NN, HW question mark. And then he'll say, good morning, Terry. UR5NN, KT4FQ to you, or K4BLE to you. He uses TU for to you. A lot of people use TU for thank you. It can be to you. Same thing. And so then we each respond, good morning, John, UR5NN, HW question mark. Also, John we asked him to send us something random. I did. I said, John, could you send just a random... Oh, it's telling me the net's about to start. I said, could you just send a random thing every day? So we started off with chemical elements off the table chart of elements. He would send those. Then we went to the knot of the day, and we'd take a piece of 550 cord to breakfast and then tie the knot. Our joke was whoever couldn't tie the knot had to buy coffee. And then our other joke is whoever sends perfect code has to buy coffee. So that's our excuse for nobody having perfect, code in the morning. But now John sends what's called, he'll start off the net and he'll say the call sign of the day is, and he'll send the call sign 3 times, just a random call sign, and he picks off of QRZ. And so it gives us a chance to practice copying random call signs. And he sends it 3 times. Then he'll start calling the net. But anyway, 7.090 at 7:55 a.m. every day, Monday through Saturday, just not on Sundays. And at the end, he'll call Q&I. When he calls Q&I, throw your call sign out there, and he'll come back to you. And then when he comes back to you, all you have to say is GM for good morning, JOHN, the letter U, the letter R, UR, whatever the signal report is, 579, 539, 429, whatever. And then HW question mark, K. And then he'll come back to you and your call sign, and he'll probably send your call sign out the next day with the rest of the guys. We always love having new people come in to the Flying Pigs net. But anyway, thanks for watching. Let me quit jabbering now that I've bored you to death. And the net's going to start here in about 4 minutes. So I'm on 7.090 right now, waiting on it. Thanks. We'll see you at the next time. Well, we brought you back. It is now 9:50 in the morning. We've only got 31. The band conditions today are horrible. We've switched to 17, and 17's quiet, but according to QRZ, the maximum usable frequency isn't that high yet. However, on the reverse beacon network, I can see that I'm making it into New England, and I made it out to Idaho a minute ago. I got a 559 from Idaho, and I got a 559 from New England. So, and the signals seem to be strong on 17, even though QRZ says that the band conditions just aren't favorable up there. I'm on 18074. It's quiet. The band is quiet. 40 was just noisy. 20 was just a lot of just noise, atmospheric noise. N4JAW had sent me a message on Instagram, was telling me that the atmosphere is in poor shape. The A index is like a 24, and I forget what the K was, but it's pretty horrible. I'm superstitious, so I don't look at it before I go out here to activate. I feel maybe if I just don't know any better, then if you build it, they will come. I don't have my external mic plugged in, so I hope you can hear me there. But anyway, I thought I'd just kick it back on for a minute. But if we're not going to be making call signs, I'm going to stop it again. Because the purpose of these videos is for call sign copy practice. And I'm not hearing any. So we'll go ahead and turn you back off. We're going to hang out here for a while, though. Maybe as the day progresses, I can go a little higher in the bands and see if I can do any good up there. It's going to get warm today, but I'm in the shade of my van, so hopefully we'll be all right. Thanks.